Because when network has a soft capacity, what does it mean? It means what where throughput performance of a cell depend over current level of interference. Yeah? Because we use CDMA system. Yeah? And usually when we try to improve capacity, it's a look like a this optimization problem. For example, it's between cell coverage, quality of service, or we want to give a more quality of service for users. It means what we should reduce number of users, how we can reduce just reduce cell coverage, yeah, and etc. And based on this, we in WCDMA we have several algorithms for manage system. It's one of them. It's radio resource management. It's some entity what try to handle level of interference, but you know how depend from which depend from what depend throughput for given user. It depends from first of all signal to interference ratio. Second one, it's okay. Let's say signal to interference ratio. Yeah. What we shall do if signal goes down? First of all, try to increase power. Yeah, but usually in uplink we have a limitation of maximum power, usually not more than 0.25 watts for user equipment. Yeah. So next, how we can improve in signal to interference ratio? It's change spreading factor, make it bigger. But if we make spreading factor bigger, it means what is bit rate will be smaller. Yeah, and so this is some problems. And of course, we need very very effective algorithm to regulate the power. Yeah, because in GSM we can handle the power just no often when around, I guess, hundreds of milliseconds, yeah, or just 1 second. Here we have a possibility to make a regulation of a power more often. Okay, next, power control. Yeah, it's and about media access control. Yeah, it's okay. Let's say CIS, call admission control algorithm. Yeah. For example, if in the cell we have already exist several calls with some signal, we use some power, we have some signal to interference ratio, and we have follow a rule of a call. Yeah. Before we give a channel, we should check how we should check influence this new call to already existing calls. Yeah. How it changes the interference. Yeah. First of all, we should estimate interference. How we look to the request. Yeah. We look type of a channel, or it's a small bitrate or big bitrate channel. Yeah, we should estimate the power what we can give to the user, and after that we calculate the total level of interference in the cell. If if it will be below the threshold, okay, we will give this channel source. If not, we drop this call. Okay, I guess there is no And let's go. Okay, about handover here, here's just some special things about handover. It's a soft handover. I guess we already talked about soft handover. Do you remember? What does it mean, soft handover? Just when we talk about a rake receiver, we say it have a rake have a three paths. Yeah? Usually it's to fix propagation problems, yeah, multi-path propagation problems. Yeah, do you remember? Because in exam you should explain it. Okay, and we put to every rake path delayed, shifted copy of one scrambling code. Yeah, and so we can handle by the properties of our correlation function. We can synchronize with every delayed component, up to 3 in user equipment, up to 3, and some of them in phase. Yeah. So another property, actually, it's a feature of this system because we can put for every rake path different scrambling sequences. It means what's in one receiver actually implemented free channel receiver, and so our user equipment have possibility connect with up to 3 different cells, and so it means in the process of handover, when we work our triggers for handover, we connect to the user another cell and transmit data to the user through the several cells. Yeah? Through the several cells, because it has one scrambling code, this one is a different scrambling code. But we still transmit the same information. Yeah? And because they are uncorrelated, because it's a different base station, yeah, it's space uncorrelation is minimal. Yeah? We can improve quality of a signal. And how we can improve? First of all, it's a change combining, but change combining work only software handover. What does it mean? Different soft and software. Soft, it's a handover between different base stations. Software, it's a handover between seconds of one base station. Yeah? So it means in the software handover, we have one detector of a signal, one thing what estimates the signal. So we can process both physical signals. And it's look like a array receiver. We have one signal, another signal, with some in phase. It's a chase command. But in the soft handover, where every signal processed by the node B independently. Independent because it's different receivers. And but we this base station connected to one radio network controller. And in the side of network controller, we can, after detection of a signal, after we work not with the signal, we work with a bit with a frame. So in the radio network controller, receive two frames from one base station to another, and estimate the level of errors and choose the better frame. And this is has a name selective combining. Yeah. So selective combining, you choose the frame with the lowest number of errors. Change combining, it's how say совместная обработка, совместная mutual process. Change combining, it's mutual process. Selective combining, we choose yes. In every frame, I guess, in a lot of technology, we use cycle redundancy code, CRC. And based on CRC, we can estimate level of errors, various level of errors, like this one. Okay, soft handover, you connect to list to cell. Soft handover, you connect two sectors within one same A not B. And you see what is by the software handover, we improve coverage probability, but only in the uplink, in the uplink. But for downlink, it's a trade-off because for the one information channel, we use two radio channels. Yeah? We use three radio channels. And of course, after our user go closer to node B, we just turn off previous channel. Question about soft and software handover? And some parameters. First parameters related with a signal to noise ratio. It's energy per chip per spectral density of interference. Spectral density of interference. This is a CPCH. It's level of code, pilot code power. So usually we use some primary pilot channel. It's and in this channel we transmit on, I'll say, not unrelated, unspreaded. Here we transmit just some scrambling code, just a scrambling sequence. It's repeat every time. Yeah, and here we estimate with code power, not a signal, with code power. Yeah, this is a look like a pilot. Yeah, and of course we use some thresholds. It's like hysteresis for it's a to handle problems of ping pong. Yeah. And so this is some special things of handover in WCDMA. And as I said before, yeah, maybe in some previous lecture, in the soft handover, if our base station connected to the different radio network controller, yeah, our channel still go from the drift radio network controller, actually service network controller. Do you remember this picture? Maybe I just show you. Это у нас была такая рисунок такой. Окей. В конце места. Okay, let's suppose what we have a soft handover. Yeah. Previous channel was like this one. This is new. Yeah, but it still go from here. Yeah, it still go from here due to soft handover. And you see what is how I said, soft handover improve coverage on the cell fringe, and we have some improvement only when we have 2 or 3 soft handover links, and now additional handover links doesn't improve very big. Yeah, some small improvements. So for us, the most improvement we have already with 2 soft handover links. But in technology, we have possibility for free. Yeah. Okay. Let's what we should do. For example, here's a problem. What we should do in double CDMA system if we need improve capacity of our network. Yeah. For example, we have some cluster, some base station, and where bitrate for this base station doesn't enough for given traffic load. Now, what we should do? We're approaching GSM, we should add some transmitter which work in our frequency channel. Okay? And actually, we should do the same in WCDMA, because if we just add in our transmitter, which work in the same frequency channel but with different scrambling code, it just improve our capacity a little bit, just around 10 or 20%. Yeah. So it means what we need to go. We shouldn't in the same. We shouldn't service the same area with the two transmitters which work in the same frequency channel. You can say, but where signals are uncorrelated. Yes, uncorrelated, but we're not the total, not full uncorrelated. Yeah? So where our signal decrease interference to actually very decrease interference to each other. Yeah? And here is proposed what for splitting, yeah, here is a splitting of cells, yeah, and for small micro cells we should use it in our frequency channel. This is only this approach will work to improve capacity of the network. Okay, about power control. Yeah, we have several types of power control. Yeah, first of all, inner loop power control, outer loop power control, based on signal interference ratio. Yeah, open loop power control without any house name, without any without any loop. Обратная связь loop, without any feedbacks. Thank you. What we handle by the power control? First of all, of course, it's a path losses, and we try to solve problem near far problem, shadowing, and usually we can by this speed we can handle fast fading too. Yeah, some environment delay, but I don't know how it's delay spread, UV speed. Actually, yes, because based on UV speed, it's we can describe how fast change our signal. Yeah, because the environment change very fast. Okay, and of course, what is the problem of near far? What is the near far problem? Yeah. Our code division system work only when work well only when the level of signals the same on the receiver side. Yeah, the same on the receiver side. So if we don't want what is the user one shadow the signal user two, we should say what is a for equality of receiver power, we should say for user one decrease the power, yeah, but for user two we should say increase the power, yeah, increase. And in this case we have a equal power on the input of the receiver, yeah. But if we say for you to increase the power, it's make interference around, make more interference around him. Yeah, for current cell and for neighborhoods. Yeah, and the problem is what we don't have possibility. I guess I'm rephrased. The problem is what we have a limitation for the transmitting power. Limitation for transmitting power. Actually, we can say what is the channel resource. I mean, what is the resources for CDMI system? Actually, it's interference, and the main resource it's a power. It's a power. I mean, every signal increase the total power on the system. Yeah. Okay, let's look to closed loop power control. It has an inner loop and outer loop. Yeah. In its outer loop control just can change the power by the big steps, because the goal is a signal to interference ratio. Signal to interference ratio. If we measure what's the signal to interference ratio we get with this power, we just jump to this power. Just it's, for example, up to I guess 10 dBms. Yeah, for example, it's 10 dB, not dBm, 10 dB. Yeah, and we go to this goal level. Yeah, but due to shadowing, fast fading, we have a fast variation signal. Yeah, and these fast variation signals we can handle by the inner loop control. But in the inner loop control, we can send the command for change of power only for 1 decibels. The step is just 1 decibels. Here's a different step. We measure signal difference, and without, because based on signal interference ratio, depend our block error rate. Yeah, it's a big steps. Yeah, it looks like a jump, and this one around this goal, this handle changing around this level. About frequency, wireless frequency, have already shown to you. Because how we can calculate? I mean, how often we can send the command to change the power? How often it's the same speed? How often we transmit data over user? But depend on what? Depend only time slot. No, we cannot give the commands for the network open when time slot. Yeah, and so in the 10 milliseconds frame, we have a 15 time slot. Yeah, and this is the 15 time slot. It's a 0.66 microsecond. Yeah, it gives us 1 divided by this. Then this value of frequency. Он считал. Что-то все забыли. Я вам еще не успел список вопросов к экзамену. У нас уже 15-го, да, экзамен? Будет тяжело на экзамене, в теорию. Окей. Один, смотрите, один он сразу... Один у нас бросает на целевую функцию. Let's suppose This is a different level. Okay, and the outer loop can work like this. Yeah. And inner loop the smaller steps. Да, в частоте регулирования. Ну, то есть не в частоте, не в частоте. Еще разница в том, что мы, понимаете, при помощи outer loop мы сразу на целевую мощность можем выйти. На целевую. Ну, то есть как бы грубая регулировка, короче говоря. Вот мы знаем, что при этой сир обеспечивается, знаем интерференцию сир, что обеспечивается при таком уровне передаваемой мощности. Все, мы туда прыгаем. А потом там у нас начинается замирание. Мы вот эти замирания уже inner loop регулируем. То есть маленьким. Сейчас там следующий слайд есть, он более наглядный. Okay, what you see, our goal is the signal to interference ratio, yeah, given UP and O. Yeah, and I guess the red line, it's our channel transfer function, our phase process actually, because this is time, it's not a channel transfer function, it's just impulse in this response channel. Yeah, you see, if we have a big fading. Sorry. No, it's a S. It's an impulse. It's a phasor. We have we have low fading. Here's a high fading. Yeah, low fading, high fading. Here's a high J, low J. And if we have a low phasing, we can decrease our power and decrease. But if we have a high phasing, we should increase our power. We should increase power. And around some level. Yeah. But if we change our position, we can just jump here and handle only here. Because here we step over in the power, but by the one moment we can change our power only to 1 dB. Yeah? This is a step 1 dB. 1 dB. Yeah? No more. In one time we cannot just move here. By the only in the inner loop. And here you see power control performance for users in the vehicle and pedestrian. Yeah? And you see it depends from velocity. Another kind of power control, it's an open loop. It's a way we should say we work closed loop control. Only for dedicated channel, not for common, not for shared, only for dedicated, because we should transmit the commands in the time slots. Yeah. Okay. In some cases, we don't have dedicated channel. Here's an example for Amcn channel. Yeah. How we can by the open loop power control. We only fix the path losses because we estimate how we how user equipment choose transmitting power. We estimate power of pilot signal, and we know by through the broadcast control channel what was the initial transmit power, and we measure what we receive. And the difference, it's a path losses. Okay, based on this estimation, we can turn our transmitting power. Yeah, but it's very rough. Yeah? Because usually pilot signal and our signal were placed in the different frequencies. Yeah, it's like for FDD, the uplink and downlink. Yeah? And here's some example of random access channel. We estimate our transmit power, use this power, try to send preamble. If it doesn't receive any acknowledgement, we little bit improve the power, we little bit increase power, try to send power, and we still increase the power till we receive an acknowledgement. Okay. Actually, I can say for the future what's in LTE work only open loop power control, and for HSDPA work only open loop power control. And you should say why. Нет, можем мы, но мы оцениваем ее. То есть мы оцениваем канал вниз, то есть там мы меняем, нет, мы установим. Это, понимаете, для random access. But for real, for shared channels, every time we will some period we estimate received signal and change our power. This is just for random access channel. Yeah? But these things, I mean, this one it's work only dedicated channel. And you should know why. Yeah. What is the overload? Yeah. You see what is the non-linear dependency of dependency. We have a non-linear dependency between traffic load and level of interference. Yeah. You see what is up to 70%. We have boom increasing of noises. Yeah, and usually our network should work somewhere here. Yeah, and how work our call admission control? First of all we try to overcome overload situation. Yeah, if we have a new call, we change. We check where will be our system, here or here, or just here. For example, this is a level. Yeah. If we're still here, we can this call and able to the system. And sometimes already existing call, condition of already existing calls are changed because I move. I should increase my power. Yeah. And this power increase the interference. Increase the interference. Yeah? And so this radio resource manager can close already existing calls. Already existing calls. And another problem what happened in the network, it's a self-breathing. Just let's suppose what we have some users which already exist in the cell. Okay, but let's suppose where they are placed in the fringe of the cell. Yeah? And some interference. Yeah? With some level of interference, and we read new calls. Yeah? And we already suppose what is the users already what placed on in the fringe of the cell already use the maximum transmitted power. Yeah? And so based on this, and every user have all signals on interference ratio. Yeah? And we add new call. This new call add interference. and every user try to return to the previous level of signal interference ratio. They can improve the power, but these users cannot because they already use the maximum power. Yeah, and so for him, signal to interference ratio goes down. They cannot work. Yeah, and so it's look like coverage will be smaller for them. Will be smaller. If the traffic load goes down, signal to noise interference ratio goes down. No, sorry, interference level goes down. So it's easy to get the same signal to interference ratio. Yeah. So you see what is the coverage depend from the load. Okay. High traffic load, we have a small. Small traffic, bigger coverage. You see what is the power? It's a resource for CDMA. It's a power resource. Okay. It's a self-breathing, yeah. Coverage load level and high load coverage. Type of interference, I guess it's for our study. Multi-access channel. Да, но это особенность. Но... Нет, но смотрите, почему кодовую последовательность вообще ввели? Понятно, что чтобы разделять, что спектральный в сравнении с GSM спектральная эффективность будет выше. В сравнении спектральная эффективность выше. И потом еще что CDMA делает? Мы же решаем проблемы multipath propagation. By the codes we solve problems of multipath. I mean, we can you just when we look this picture, yeah, what is the picture for us? I mean, what this picture? I mean, just remember our previous semester. Actually, this one looks like a delay profile. It's a delay profile, yeah. Some simple without rate GSM can work only this one, and this signals its interference for this. Yeah? CDMA can work with the buffer. Actually, we were free. Yeah, and what we do in CDMA, we spread our signal. Instead bit rate, we transmit our signal faster. And it means what we spread signal. I mean, our we spread signal in the frequency domain, but only in the frequency domain. Okay? And so spread energy or signal in the frequency domain. Okay? But in LT, instead of frequency domain, we spread signal in the time domain. But it's look a breakband signal because we have a lot of subchannels. Тут в этом больше проблема, что the main problem in mobile networks it's a multi-path propagation because our user is mobile. Ну потому что эффективность оказалась ниже, чем в LTE. Ну там тоже тут как бы просто спектральная эффективность ниже, там максимум, дальше ничего не дался. Тут говорят 5G хотят в каком-то этом в non-orthogonal multiple access. It look like a CDMA actually. Может быть там что-нибудь. Вот так, то есть можно же такую систему создать, в FDM реализовать CDMA еще. Okay, cell breathing, storage capacity, I guess low. I'm already call admission control conjunction. Call admission, it's admit new users, conjunction control with already connected user. We monitor situation for already connected users. And the main objective, it's avoid overall situation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you see, I'm already tried to threshold, try to explain this one. Yeah, it's a threshold for color admission control, very little bit lower, and conjection control. Yeah, admission control is triggered when load, more when threshold come, and user are blocked. Existing user are not affected as long as load low when threshold conjection. Hmm? And the same approach for conjection control trigger. Blocking and dropping, yeah, it's a packet data. We don't. Okay, let's go to Ashes DPA. Это у нас РРМ была, да? РРМ. И все. High-speed downlink packet access, and I guess we will not talk about uplink access, uplink, but what is the main approach of this to improve the bitrate for given user? But how? Actually, how we can improve bitrate for given user? Yeah, it's a use different several code OVSWF code channels. Yeah, but we have a strict limitation because you just remember OVSWF 3. How OVSWF 3? Он еще OVSWF дерево. Да-да-да. Closing 3. Yeah. And his limitation because we if we use one branch, we close with every direction. Yeah. And here we little bit try to improve, and we will talk how. Actually, in release 99, for data transmission, we can use the same channels for the voice, like dedicated traffic channels, but for the high bitrate with lower spreading factor. Yeah, and of course for the small data, we have in CDMA has some special channel, has a name forward access channel, but I don't want to talk about forward access channel. But it still has a low throughput because the maximum in release 99 in the free cell, only in the free cell, maximum throughput for one user it's 960 kilobytes, something like that. And no more than 1 megabit. So just look to the table with speed bitrate for the different spreading factors. How we can get this spreading factor? I mean, the maximum bitrate we can use only when for one user we give up to 3 codes with up to 3 coding channel with a spreading factor 4. We cannot give 4 because the 4 need to some common control channels. Yeah. Okay, we release 5. I remember what's RSDP was introduced by release 4. Okay, release 4 said about we go our core network. In our core network, we use IP transport, IP network. Because in release 99, we in IP in a core network we use ITM technology, and in USA frame relay. Maybe in some books you can read with old technology for data connection, but in release 4 we go to IP core, and release 5 introduce HSDPA. Yeah, release 6 for uplink. Yeah, because I just show you what the HSU implemented very different from HSDPA. It's very different. And release 7 and all the earliest нет, later что позже, 2002 или 2003, что какой год точно 2003. And later releases where actually from release 8 we introduced LT, but for every technological improvement in release 8, just JSON, WCDMA, yeah. Where improvements, it's about we introduce MIMA, we introduce high order modulation like 64 QAM, yeah, and carrier aggregation. Yeah, Yeah, you see what's the maximum bitrate release 99, 2 megabits at practically limited just 384 kilobits per second. Yeah. First of all, in HSDPA, we stay in the same channel in some organization of CDMA channel in the same 5 megahertz. Yeah, we use the same family of obvious wave code and scrambling codes. Yeah, but we will later we say what we can use several obvious wave with a fixed spreading factor, orthogonal variable spreading factor code tree. Yeah, and we introduce our special, not so special, introduce coding scheme like a total codings. Yeah. And new concepts, it's what we can use adaptive content modulation schemes. Yeah. We can adapt to the condition of a channel. Yeah. In release 5 and 6, it's just was a QPSK and 60 QAM, but only for downlink. Yeah? In a later, till 64 QAM. Yeah? Guybreak RQ. I guess we'll already say, but today we little bit repeat. Hybrid, what is the difference? Actually, hybrid RQ, there is no any sliding window. Yeah? Because I guess we have talked very much about RQ. Yes, sliding window for DCP. Yeah, it's a little bit simpler. The main improvement it's a fast scheduling. TTI in radio channel just 2 milliseconds. Yeah, 2 milliseconds. And time to and I guess round trip time it's no more than 10 milliseconds. Round trip time no more than 10 milliseconds. Actually, it's very faster. It's very faster. In release 7, I already said about these things. You know how to QPSK 60 kHz, I hope. Yeah. Adaptive modulation, I guess you know how it's. First of all, visual measure based on measurement. We have some scale with a signal, with a channel quality indicators. Yeah, well, for example, this signal to noise with this level. It's a CQI, just a level, just a number. Some levels up to I don't remember 16 or more. Yeah. Our user equipment measure with condition, return to the base station CQI, and based on this CQI, base station choose the best modulation and best redundancy, I mean coding rate, the best coding rate. Yeah? And just note, these two things. Power data rates, redundant, reduce latency, more robust transmission with low data rates. It's because little bit later we look through the scheduler of HSDPA. Okay, about hybrid IRQ. First of all, there is no sliding window. What happened what happened if we doesn't receive acknowledgement or receive non-acknowledgement? First of all, we can use two these fields: change combining and incremental redundancy. If we receive the wrong packet, we detect mistake, we send non-acknowledgement. Don't remove the previous one. And ask to repeat copy of this packet. And try to detect, but I don't. Do you know the puncturing? The colorless marker. Did you study with marker puncturing in the codes? And remove some bits. The color puncturing. Как пишется puncturing? Не было никого. Okay. Any case, we suppose if next attempt we receive mistake, I guess this mistake happened in another place of the data. And when we try to fall in the decoding scheme, use two copies of the scheme, we have a higher redundancy, and I guess we have a probability what we can turbo decoder can find and fix every mistakes. Every mistake. If this doesn't work, we ask our transmitter redecode the data with a higher redundancy level. It looks like a state machine. I mean, in standard state machine, we change the mode for every 4 attempts. For the higher redundancy. And hybrid IRQ can process up to 8 packets. As you see, what is this one? It's a selective combining into 8 frames. Не фреймов, а вот 8 последовательных передач. Sorry, not selective combining. Selective acknowledgement in the 8 packets. It's the same algorithm work in LP and 5G in the link level. Why we don't use in other technology? Because we can use IRQ only when we have a fast scheduling, and because our TTI it's 2 milliseconds. For our channels, it will make a slower our transmission because TTI longer, TTI and round the time for non-acknowledgement. But for 10 milliseconds, it's okay, non-acknowledgement. I mean, around the time very smaller, and so HRQ work relatively fast, and it's don't delay our end-to-end transmission. Don't delay our end-to-end transmission. Okay.
Тут выкрутить изображено.
Здесь изображено. Передаем первый пакет. Первый пакет. Приняли с ошибкой. Передаем копию первого пакета. Тот, который тогда приняли, не удаляем, а их совместно обрабатываем. И отдаем. Исправили
ошибку. В смысле, втором
вот
пакете?
здесь ошибка. Не-не-не, моя ошибка, а я не знаю, она там тоже может произойти втором.
Нет, во втором пакете есть исправление для первого есть?
Нет. Копия. Там, понимаете, есть копия, а есть где просто не исправление, а увеличились. Ну, то есть какой-то вот контекст первое, мы просто копию передаем. Не сработало, мы перекодируем его. Перекодируем, увеличивая избыточность.
И он основывается на двух кредитах.
Да, он совместно не удаляет. Окей, Ильяс, could you comments with scheduling? Are you still online?
Нет, там кто-то сидел.
Ну, тебя здесь. А может, не слышно?
Да, почему и не слышно.
Ладно. Okay, about first of all about scheduling. How we can distribute the channels? Yeah, of course, based on заявки arrivals, based on calls. Yeah, I mean we don't talk what some improvement in third generation network. It's a radio access bearer. Maybe we literally talk what this means. I say it was a radio access bearer. It's just a logical channel. Yeah, but we should add the main thing. What's that? It's a logical channel with a quality performance parameter, quality of service parameters, like a throughput, given bitrate, given delay. Yeah? This is a radio access bearer. Yeah? And based on this approach, we can serve different types of calls based on quality of service. And the bear determine what is a radio network should propose this level. Yeah? Okay, this level. And return to schedulers. Of course, scheduler first. What do scheduler? It's look to call. Yeah, what they want, and it's look what already exists. What he's have the free channels. Yeah? First of all, I mean not also first of all. It's just first approach, just a round robin. We just serve variables by the order, without any quality of service. Yeah. Proportional fair. Yeah, it's a we estimate the size of the calls. The higher the size of the call, get more channel resources. Yeah, but we still try to implement something like having name justice. Yes, справедливость. Yeah, justice. Yeah. And another approach, maximum. Elias, are you here? Yes. What does it mean, maximum CI? Okay, thank you. So the next approach, because it has a name like a opportunistic approach. Yeah? When we have two variables with the same quality, with the same, with the same requirements. Okay, let's use more simple word. Okay, let's suppose we have two calls, and every call asks one channel with bit rate 1 megabits per second. 1 megabits per second. But in the first case, the user here placed in the high condition of a channel with a higher signal to noise ratio, but other user placed in the lowest condition. Yeah, of course, this user can use higher order modulation without redundancy, and for sharing of this call, we will use smaller number of channel resources. Okay, but this user need the same bit rate. It means, but the lowest signal to noise ratio. It can use only robustness modulation, like a low order modulation. It needs more redundancy, and so the total 1 megabit now will look like a 2 megabit. I mean, 1 megabit information rate look like a 2 megabit, like a coding rate. Yeah? And of course, he used bigger number of channel resources. And our scheduler choose one who needs smaller number of channels. Yeah, because, but при прочих равных, if our parameters are equal, we use this one because it's something like an opportunistic approach. And please remember about no soft handover, and HSDP. Little bit later we will see why. Yeah. Okay. Principles of HSDP. First of all, we can use up to 15 pods with a constant phasing factor 16. Чуть-чуть задержимся, ладно? Мы полчаса и потом все. Just не будет две лекции, просто show. One without break, just after 30 or 40 minutes, after I am finished material, I'll let you learn. Yeah, fix it. Yeah, fix it. Why we only 15? Because here we need to some common channels, like special signaling channels. Yeah, maybe for release 99 channels. Yeah, of course, these physical codes can change. We can for HTTP we can use only, for example, only 8 or smaller number, or it can change that dynamically based on traffic calls. Okay, and we need several channels. Yeah, first several channels. First, of course, it's a traffic channel. Yeah. Next one, it's some control channel which describe this one. It's describe resource distribution inside traffic channels. Describe resource distribution in traffic channels. And this is feedback about channel quality, about HRQ acknowledgement, etc. Okay. Okay. But of course, it's for only packet service. Okay. And what about data? About fast scheduling? Here's a time interval. It's a smaller. I guess it's a time in 1 TTI. It's 1 millisecond. I guess 1 millisecond. And based on size of the call, we can give for one user several codes, or actually several codes. and distribution of clocks change every 1 millisecond. Okay? And эффективность канала, performance, efficiency of a channel, it's very high then. Because now how many channels we use depend on the size of our burst traffic. Actually, we easily can serve burst traffic. Пакетный трафик, burst traffic. And what else? Number of always wave code what we can give a user depend not only for the system, it depends from category of user equipment. How many always wave, как пассианс раскладывается, how many always wave can decode, can process one user equipment. Okay? Do you understand this picture? Okay. Let's suppose how it will look. How it looked in release 99. It can look only like this one for one user, this one for our user, till connection point, till call time. Here's we can in 1 millisecond with all channels for one user. Here's true for our, 3 to third user. Yeah? And we can every time we can mix them. То смысл в том, что мы вот сколько надо, столько комбинируем быстро. I mean, the main thing it's fast scheduler, and of course multiplexing of several channel calls. Ну, как бы это в релизе 99-м тоже могло, там до 4, так что 15 минут. Several calls. Что?
Разве это не эффективно оставлять на спорт?
Не, а там нет. Там смысл в том, что просто они не нужны. Заявки такой нет.
В то время не нужно.
Да, просто столько не нужно было. Там просто в то время столько не нужно было. Я единственное помню, еще там есть ограничение, что одно устройство, one device cannot serve, где-то я читаю, where I'm reading what is the one device cannot process the data in the neighborhood device. Но это не точно. Sometimes actually in LTE this is I know this limitation. I mean, do you remember what is in LTE? One device cannot process a resource block in the neighborhood subframes. Do you have this limitation? Do you remember about it? But we can process several resource blocks in the frequency domain. It can. But in the neighborhood details. But what is the nature of this limitation? You see, it's the scheduling, because our user should know how many about channel distribution, know information about channel distribution, and this information transmitted in high speed. I don't remember C, but control channel. Actually, C shared control channel. Yeah, and here has a description of how many channels, what transmit block size, some HRQ info, and this information transmit early up to 3 milliseconds, up to 3, sorry, not 3 milliseconds, up to 3 TTI before our data. So every user can scan this channel. We will have data for them. We know when and what we should read in our TTI channel. Okay, in high-speed packet data in the shared channel. Okay? And here we introduce in our approach shared channel. Before we have a common common, dedicated, and shared. You see, what is this channel? Shared between user. And this sharing doesn't depend from a connection type. It depends only needs, what we need. Okay, and some small description. Okay, high-speed packet data shared channel, carry data traffic, fixed spreading factor, 16 up to 15 parallel channels. Yeah, and kilobits code, it's in QPSK this level, in 16 km this level. Окей, high speeds там должно быть. CC. Ну, я думаю, что это shared control channel. Control channel, signals for configuration to be used next. Codes, modulation format, transmittable format, it has a fixed present factor, and then 2 slots in advance. Здесь 2 слота, я вчера читал 3. Okay, and this buff in uplink, in the downlink, we have downlink packet control channel. It's a feedback from user. Yeah, you see acknowledge, non-acknowledgement, channel quality, feedback sent with 5 milliseconds after receiver. And несмотря на то, что я вам до этого говорил, this time return round trip time. This time return round trip time. Because, I mean, what is the faster time for retransmission? Faster time for retransmission. Okay. We receive data, spend 5 milliseconds. I'm sorry. It's something big last. Это не по старому плану сейчас. А там они самостоятельно получается. Там оборудование не обязательно. Ну, может, 501, поставьте 501. Да. Это осень. Да. А если это весна, то это очень старый план. А, да, у заочников. А тому, кто в дневников ведет, And so it's 5 millisecond feedback, yeah, and plus 3 milliseconds for scheduling. And so it's 8, yeah, and so we delay it so around 10 milliseconds. Because I don't include some process time, some just the frame, I mean, count just time for this time and this time, and I guess we should take to account some processing time. Yeah? So it's a near of 10 milliseconds. I mean, it's this thing is relatively fast. It's relatively really fast. Yeah, because what we want in 5G, it's 5 milliseconds. delay in radio. No, это всегда по-разному. When we talk about delay, I mean, in some prospects, some advertisements for 5G, about delay, what we mean about delay? It's a radio link delay or end-to-end delay in the network. Because here we talk about only about radio link delay. And of course, we should take into account some other delays in the network. Yeah, end-to-end delays. It's only about radio link. Data, and this is the acknowledgement. Okay, and if we want to introduce this fast scheduling, now the scheduler, I mean the entity, what is the distribute resources, should implement it in the base station here. Yeah? Because previous case for dedicated channel for release 99, who distribute resources placed only radio network controller. Radio network controller. Do you remember about UAM what does it mean? And some, huh? Ali? In 3G? No, it's a unacknowledgement mode and acknowledgement mode. Yeah, for let's say level. It's a not for HRQ. HRQ it's a MAC level. RLC it's a in RLC level. It's little bit high. Yeah, MAC work with small segments. Yeah, and RLC work with transport block. I mean, when we transmit transport block, we divide in a physical layer between I don't know, between physical and channel layer. Some way in lower, we divide transport block to the segments. Yeah, HRQ handle segments. RLC handle transport block. What we receive from upper layer. Okay, it's some functionality, not be about scheduling, prioritizing, blah blah blah. I guess that's all. That's all. Я неправильно сказал. RLC, смотрите, не транспорт блок. Мы Макс формирует транспорт блок, а RLC это как бы выше. Handle only RLC. И repeat RLC. Вот этот транспорт, давайте так. Я тут у меня перемешалось LT и это. Я не знаю, что здесь.
Нет, самый нижний физический уровень силы добавить.
Если физически, но там не факт. Не факт. То есть смотрите, если мы говорим, что вот эту штуку мы можем напрямую отобразить вот эти каналы CSF15, то тогда вот это ниже. Но если там еще говорится, что у меня стандартный, вот как в LT, вот, допустим, в LT, там приходит транспортный блок. А вот транспортный блок, там, в зависимости от того, какой тип модуляции мы перемену используем, какой звучка, еще делим на сегменты. Да? На сегменты. И вот HRQ, он, по-моему, работает с сегментами. Но это не важно, главный подход. Да, конкретно, ну, я тоже не знаю, что это. Просто наша цель сам подход. Да? HRQ handle low level data frames, RLC upper level. This is the faster, this is the slower. Ну, то есть смотрите, как это. It looks like we receive some data from upper layers. This segment. Yeah. Send to the channel. Here we check. Of course, when we send to the channel, we should fragment them, and here's a defragment, connect them, and check is it is with no mistakes. Okay, no mistakes. But just remember when we make center segments, and his and physical in the channel we handle how we transmit every signal. And for this, we use HRQ. Yeah, very fast transmission process. HRQ. Okay, it's a stop and wait RQ. Yeah, we stop and wait HRQ. So we can, if we have mistake, we should stop retransmission. Turbo code, code rate adaptation. I'm sad about this word. Do you know пунктуринг? Нет? Нет? Знаете? Не, с Марка не приходили пунктуринг? Да. Ну еще не только.
Ты убираешь избыточно, ты сначала добавляешь.
Нет, там не совсем я ее убираю же, я ее как бы выкалыванием пишу.
Ну да, но вот эти избыточные биты некоторые убирают.
Да, почему, на каком правиле?
Если канал хороший, избыточные стрижни убираются. А если канал плохой, то вот еще раз повторяются некоторые. Он сначала кодирует в рейтинге 1.3, а потом уже либо добавляет еще, либо убирает некоторые.
А вот смотрите, если я сделал пунктуринг, как я потом декодирование делаю? Вот
ну, там пунктуринг не просто типа, случайно выкалываю, подряд, тоже по алгоритму делаю.
Ну то есть я знаю этот алгоритм, где я выкалывал биты, все, и потом я то есть, могу их восстановить, все. Трафарет есть?
Там выкалываются избыточные биты, а не информационные.
Все. Okay, two types. Incremental redundancy. Additional party bits are sent when decoding errors occurred. Chain due to reducing recorded rate. Change combining. The same bits retransmit when decoding errors occurred. Chain to maximum ratio combining. Okay, I guess I hope I said the same. Round trip time 5 TTI. 5 TTI. Yeah, the category of user equipment is, I guess we don't use now, I guess till 24 category. You see, the maximum category, it's without MIMO. Yeah, the bit rate, it's 9, theoretical maximum data rate, it's a 9.8. I guess now we use the category of user equipment, it's a 24. Vivo and dongles, I guess it's a 24, because if you do you use HSDPA dongles, 3G dongles, USB modems. You see, CQI table, CQI 40 levels. Yeah, transport block size depend. I mean, number of bits what we can map to physical resources depend of number of code channels and type of modulation. You see. Fast scheduling is a 2 TTI. Shannon quality condition we can handle it. Resource allocation, scheduling distant round trip, proportional fair, boom, 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 boom. Nothing new. Yeah, management resources, both adjust CNCI. Yeah, we can change border. I said, what impact RTP. Всякое все старье. Okay, just main things about HSUPA. Yeah, physical taken from release 99. Yeah, just PPSK, actually QPSK modulation, power control, 10 milliseconds with a 2 millisecond TTI. We have the same frame time and 10 millisecond TTI. Spreading on separate of this wave code, and we can multiplex the codes. Yeah. Mac, in Mac layer we have introduced fast scheduling and stop wait HRQ. Internal software and internal support I думаю, не поддерживается. Окей. Да везде там есть, и там MIMO, здесь еще пока просто не сказали. Between you not be. Я просто All right, so some channels, yeah, and let's describe these channels. Okay, data. Enhancer data packet dedicated channel. Carry the data traffic variable spreading factor. We support up to 4 these channels. Up to 4 these channels. Yeah. Control channel. Yeah, contains configuration as used on ADPCH. Yeah, and where's the? Let's look. Where's the ADPCCH? ADPCCH. It's не должен он быть там.
Это вот.
А как он может быть аплинком?
Нет, не аплинк, тут и аплинк должны быть через слэш. DCH и CCH.
Нет, вот по стрелочку направлены они. Ну, что там нам...
Может, это C?
Нет, это сюда. Control. Okay. It's HRQ indicators. It should be downlink. This is RQ indicators. Carrier receive scheduling grants. Ah, okay. Now I'm get idea. Okay. Here by the control channel we send our как заявки. False. Другое слово, я это говорил, потому что не знал. Как, Request. Okay. We send our request, and by the garant channel, our base station support the request. Because who manage uplink resources? Only base station. Okay. Only base station manage this request. This request. Okay. Here's some carrier receive scheduling grants and carrier the absolute scheduling grants. Ну, короче, там, guys, I don't want, I'm not so well know HSuper, and I just main idea. Okay, my main idea, what it's first of all fast scheduling, but the channels were dedicated. Where the channels are still dedicated. Still dedicated. Там какие-то всякие гарантии, zero гранты, такая. Лучше LT. Планировщик. Не будем мы это в следующем семестре. Нет, целый рунет эмоций, но я про LT, да. Давайте лучше так. Почему здесь? And enhancement. Yeah, when we introduce MIMO. Okay, 64 we introduce in 7th release. Yeah, let's look to the peak rate. Yeah, HSP 41 megabits per second. It's only 64 QAM and 2x2 MIMO. Yeah, and usually without MIMO it's 21. And without 64, it's only maximum throughput. It's 14 megabits. And here you see for uplink, yeah, 10 megabits. But just if we consider the bit rate what's in the fixed network in the same time period, yeah, it's a zeros years of 21st century. I guess in a fixed network we can get the same. I guess I'm still have the same lower bit rate in my home internet connections. Okay? It's a relatively too high mobile network. I mean, only after HDPA was introduced smartphones where we can buy the smartphones, we can watch YouTube, video, etc. Yeah? And some application. Здесь это так. MIMO, о, слабо мы это не изучаем. Веса, цепи, чой. Вообще с этими. Ну, да, хорошо, что мы это не изучаем. И там временал тоже не изучают. Давайте так. Временал сейчас тоже это не изучает. Так. Ильяс, что говорите?
Давайте не будем изучать LTI.
Не, мы LTI начнем 1-2 сентября. Все, у нас that's all questions, but да, I will send the questions for exam. Yeah, because я сказал, что еще не знаю, как. I guess our exam will look like an interview. It's around 20 minutes per one guy. And so we make some scheduler for this day.
Что-то с собой готовить можно?
Yes, if I choose, will choose writing form, of course you can. In writing form, it can be open book, but open notebook exam. But if by heart, in oral exam, it's interview, it's a live interview. It's not like a Russian student receive a question. Just a moment, I just prepare. No, it's a real time interview. I'm asked. Of course, I can give you some, no more than 1 minute, or you can say just give me some second to think about. But it's, ну что, как вот я с вами буду разговаривать, вы сейчас. Нет, no Russian students. So he want to use approach of Russian students.
4 года учился.
Questions, lot. In interview it depends. It depends. First of all, each question, all questions should cover all topics what we studied in Amcn. But how many questions you receive, it depends from your answer. If you didn't give me clear answer, I add some small question. Small questions. Yeah. But if we close this topic, or I receive or I don't receive the right answer, sometimes we switch to other questions. Yeah. And it can look what's the high prepared student have a lot of questions, we cover all topic, and so for every question I give some grade, and he received a high grade. And low prepared question receive just half of this question because we waste too many times to one question. And of course, when I saw, because each student have a small numbers in the sums, yeah, and every member was sum smaller. Interview. Notice I choose the same approach like a Professor Michelti. It's the same approach like a Michelti. Okay? Которого мы не все видим. Вы, кстати, все. That's all for today. Ильяс, по поводу, вот вы документы едете, а вы в курсе, что это вы не Гринта, скорее всего, поедете? Туда. В Германию, если едете. Да. Да, то есть это как, ну, то есть, условно говоря, то есть, ну, как вы студент по обмену.